Wow, what a milestone. And I want to thank every single viewer here, subscriber here. We just hit a massive milestone of 300,000 subscribers and 95 million views. I'm kind of speechless. When I started this channel, I never thought it would be what it now has become. A source of information, entertainment, and I hope really help the gear industry, especially the pocket knife and fixed blade and edge tool industry over the years, and just giving you guys a source of data but entertainment. And just want to say thank you. Thank you first and foremost to each and every one of you that has subscribed, watched, supported over the years. I absolutely have to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without his just blessing upon my life, really, there's so many times throughout this journey over the last 14 years of being here on YouTube that it's not my abilities, it's not my talents, it's just his blessing over my life that has brought me to where we are, and I'm so thankful for what God has done, through this channel, and use it, I hope, just as a source of information, blessing, and fun for you guys, but also for me. So just want to kind of have a little fun, memory lane, thank some people. I want to thank my wife, Mrs. GT, for being my support through this whole thing. I started the channel, as I said, 14 years ago. I was 26 years old. I'm 40 now. She and I had been married about a year, and I told her, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel reviewing gear. And she's like, okay, cool. Yeah, do it. And it's crazy how it's gotten there. My buddy Brian, who was my youth pastor growing up, and has stayed my friend throughout all the years, and especially in those early years, ran the camera for me so many times, just helping me out, and empowered me to keep doing what I was doing, where there would be times where I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Sometimes it's a grind, sometimes I'm not sure, I think I might want to hang up my hat, and like, no, man, you can do it, push through. And then seeing, success and blessing and just different things, changing throughout that, and his prayers. And my brother, you see him from time to time, he do the same thing. My dad, for giving me just the drive to be in the outdoors and taking us. He's planned every single one of our multi-day backpacking trips that you've seen in the last 14 years that I take you guys on. And he's pushing 70 now, and we're still going, we're still doing it. And there's just so many people that have made this channel a reality, because it's a one-man show, guys. It's a one-man show. It's those people that just kind of volunteer their time to go with me and hang out, and run cameras for me sometimes and stuff. I mean, I do all the editing, I do all of the on-screen talent, obviously, and all the communication, everything is just me. I don't outsource anything. I don't have a crew. When I say GT crew, I'm talking about you guys, or those people, my buddy Brian, my brother Nate, my dad, buddy Mike, just different people. Steve Mastis, shout out to you, man. And there's so many others over the years who have just helped me. Special props and thank you to people like Dan Becker, who really encouraged me when I went full time. He just randomly gave me a call. We never even spoke, or he messaged me, and then we had a call. We had a great chat. He does he has a huge outdoor backpacking channel. Really encouraged me when I took the plunge and stepped out of ministry, because I was a full-time youth pastor for the first 10 years of the channel's existence, basically. And then went full-time YouTube, during COVID, and really encouraged me, with that. My buddy Dominic from Max Level EDC, really encouraging me, give me some ideas that really helped catapult in the last year or two in many different ways, and so many others. There's thousands probably of other people, all you viewers. When I went to Blade Show for the first time last year and getting to meet you guys, that was just a blast. And we've been on a wild ride. We've been on a wild journey together. About the same within a couple months of starting the channel. We got our dog Tommy, my first dog. We just did a kind of memorial video for him. He just recently passed. So having a whole life of my 14-year-old Border Collie Springer Spaniel and just my best friend and him, really being there for the whole thing and being a companion through all that. Lots of life changes, guys, throughout the whole thing. Having kids, it's wild. So just want to say thank you to every single one of you. There's lots more to come. When I think about where the channel began, and just to encourage maybe those content creators maybe who either are just starting out, who maybe are getting kind of tired and trying to figure out like what to do, and should I keep going? 14 years is like long time. I remember going to Blade Show and talking to Joe Flowers. He's like, bro, how long have you been on YouTube? And I'm like, well, it's about to be 14 years. And he's like, holy crap, dude, you're the OG. You're one of the OGs, man. And I have to take my hat off to guys who inspired me. Absolutely inspired me. Nut and Fancy, for sure. 100% Nut and Fancy. Crockett 20, late Boy Scout. Adam from Equipped to Endure. Those guys, especially. Really, right after I got married, wanted to get into the outdoors and got turned on to their reviews, got turned on to their channels and just like absorbed so much of that. And then because I had at the time just gotten married, I'm a full-time youth pastor, so I'm working 40, 60 hours a week there. Don't have kids or anything, just got our dog Tommy, and like, how do I go get in the outdoors more when I have free time? This was kind of my conduit. Start a channel, just talk about blades, talk about my experience, take the stuff, use it, don't just do tabletop and hand puppetry, but like really use the tools and show people what a tool can and cannot do, share my opinion on it, what I like, what I don't, so that you guys, the whole goal with the channel when I started it, and still to this day, is to show you the tool, the item, whatever it is, share with you my experience, what I like and what I don't, and then help you to determine for yourself, does that make sense for me? And maybe because I love a giant freaking folder, you're like, dude, I'm never gonna carry a 5-inch pocket knife in my pocket. Great. Well, then that I helped you determine that this is not the right folder to have. But, here's a, little compact flipper you never even heard of. Okay, now that is something that I really want in my pocket. Okay, great. Then I've helped you, to determine that makes sense, and to entertain at the same time, and scratch that itch, if you will, that we as gear lovers have, and so to be able to do that and be so blessed to now be able to do that, is crazy. And it's just wild to start out, realize that it's like, okay, this is like a hobby that could pay for itself, to then, because of you guys subscribing, because of you guys watching, be able to go, you know what? Mrs. GT is pregnant. We're going to have GT Junior Mark 1, and she wants to go part-time, and I want that for her. So what the Gideonstactical channel generates can cover half of her income, sweet. And then she becomes a full-time mom. Okay, I can almost juggle that, and then taking that plunge into full-time, YouTube content creation is just crazy. And the blessing that has come through that, which is only through the grace of God, and Him helping me, through that process. But what I would say to those who are maybe, it was so much easier back in the day. So back in the day when I first started, you just got subscribers, your video got blasted out to all of them, and you got views. And now there's algorithms, there's all these things you got to constantly be juggling. And so that's what I would say to anyone who is, especially if you've been around for a while and you're kind of wrestling with like, why are my views tanking, or why are my views changing, or why does it seem so much harder to get, good views and content and like all that stuff. And especially if you are just doing it as a hobby, then yeah, it's a hobby and it's kind of fun. But it is time consuming, man. It is so time consuming. A pocket knife review alone is probably, 8 hours, for me at least, to do filming, testing, editing, carrying it, doing all the stuff, because I actually use the tools, all that. And then depending on the tool, like a backpack, I mean, that is like days and days of testing and filming and taking it with me while I'm doing this and doing that. So, I mean, I get it. So if it's like a hobby or just kind of like a side thing, it is, to do it right and do it well, takes a lot of time and energy away from your family, especially if you're juggling another job. and stuff, this is not a dial it in 2 hours a week type of thing. I mean, I'm putting in the same amount of work, 40, sometimes 60, depending on what it is. And then sometimes, if I could stack them up and get a few done, then okay, cool, I can take an extra day off and spend time with the kid. We're going to do that here next week. We're going to flex a few days with their school and different things, and we're going to go up fishing. I'm going to be working as well. I'm going to be getting B-roll for chest packs and, fly fishing raw, so I'm still working, but I'm able to do that with my kids at the same time. And it's a blessing to be able to, that's my job. I'm in the, sometimes yes, I have to be focused and write scripts and do stuff, but my office on a particular day is a freaking creek at 10,000 feet, and trying to pause for a second, enjoy that. But I'm so blessed to be able to do that and be able to call that a career is freaking nuts. It's so nuts. So, but I would just say to be flexible and be agile. I don't know how else to say it. The way I used to make content 10 years ago is not. If I was still doing that, this channel would be dead. And I would be off doing something else now. The only reason, obviously, blessing, grace, God helping, all of that, which is 1,000% true. Connections that have come out of nowhere, type of stuff, meaning God sending them, that have absolutely radically changed, ideas, pivot. Oh, okay, well, this source is drying up, but this source, because of this source now works, and that fulfills, and juggling all that and the stress of all that. But you got to be willing to learn, pivot, change what used to work. You could sit there and just ramble for 20 minutes and kind of just talk or whatever was great, but you just can't do that anymore. Or you could do super tight cuts, but now the tight cuts don't work, and you need to be more organic and more flexible, on screen and all that. If you're not willing to learn the system, it's kind of it's almost more like learning. Content creation on social media is kind of like you're playing a game that the rules are always changing. And so you either can go and get mad and be like, well, that's not the rule that used to work, and that means that, or go, I understand that the rules change. So as soon as I discover that a new rule has changed or a new dynamic is coming into play, I am willing to change, pivot, and be flexible, and I will work inside the rules and the structure of the new changing thing. This is a perfect example. Think of Tron Legacy, right? Where they're playing the blade game, the toss the lightsaber blade game, and the cubes are always changing and shifting, and the floors are moving, and that is social media. And so you have to be flexible, or you're going to get derezzed. That's what's going to happen, and you're going to turn around and be like, why is this the way I used to work doesn't work anymore? Yeah, you have to be flexible. And so I encourage those of you who are kind of on the fence, don't give up, stay flexible, stay nimble, do it. And I pray that and there's always space. So if you're thinking about jumping in for the first time, know it is work, know it is effort. But if you have good content to share, you have a perspective that's unique, and you're willing to be vulnerable, learn, but you will grow. You will grow, and there's absolutely a space in this area for more content creation. The more the merrier, the more the better. And we want more people in this space because everybody wins. All rising tide raises all ships, for real. So appreciate you guys hanging. I could go on and on and on, but thank you to all of those and some that I missed who have helped Gideonstactical to be what it is. You guys are so blessed. I am so blessed because of you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for another 300,000 subs and another 14 years or so. So let's do it, and stay tuned because lots of fun happening. Until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. I'll see you out there.